The Last Call from Magnolia Street. People think nothing important ever happens on Magnolia Street. It's one of those roads you pass without remembering. Cracked sidewalks, tired houses, old trees leaning like they've seen too much. But if you grew up there like I did, you know Magnolia Street remembers everything, especially the things we try hardest to forget. My name is Eli Carter. I'm 34 years old. Born and raised in a small town outside Jackson, Mississippi. The kind of town where everybody knows your mama, your business, and what you did wrong before you even admit it yourself. I left Magnolia Street 12 years ago with a backpack, a bus ticket, and a promise I never kept: to never come back. But life has a way of circling you right back to the place you ran from. It started with a phone call, a voicemail, to be exact. I was sitting in my car outside a closed-down grocery store in Atlanta, engine off, radio silent, when my phone buzzed. Unknown number, no picture, no name. Just a Mississippi area code I hadn't seen in years. I didn't answer. I never answer unknown numbers. But something made me listen to the voicemail. And the moment I heard the voice, my hands started shaking. Eli, baby, if this is still your number, you need to come home. It was my mother's voice. My mother, Ruth Carter, had been dead for 3 years. They buried my mama on a cloudy Tuesday morning. No rain, just that heavy sky that feels like it's holding its breath. I stood next to the grave in a borrowed black suit, staring at the casket like if I looked long enough, she might knock from the inside and tell us all to stop playing. But she didn't. She never did. Cancer took her slow. Real slow. The kind of slow that makes you angry at God, even if you don't believe in Him anymore. I wasn't there when she passed. That's something that still eats at me. I told myself I had work, deadlines, responsibilities. Truth is, I was scared. Scared to see my mama small and weak when she'd been my whole world growing up. So when I heard her voice on that voicemail, my first thought wasn't fear. It was guilt. Then confusion. Then something colder. Because the message didn't sound old. It sounded recent, clear, strong, like she wasn't sick at all. And there was something else. In the background, faint but unmistakable, I heard the sound of wind moving through trees, the old magnolia trees. I drove for 12 hours straight, didn't stop except for gas, didn't call anyone, didn't tell my job, just pointed the car south like muscle memory took over. Magnolia Street looked smaller than I remembered. The houses leaned closer together, paint peeling like tired skin. Mrs. Johnson's place still had the blue porch swing. The corner store was boarded up now, graffiti sprayed across the front like a warning. And my mama's house. It still smelled like her. That mix of lavender, old books, and fried onions that never really leaves a place. The front door creaked the same way it always had. I stood in the doorway longer than I meant to, half expecting her voice to float in from the kitchen. "Boy, you gonna stand there all day or come hug your mama?" But the house was quiet. Too quiet. I dropped my bag and sat on the couch, the same couch where she used to fall asleep watching game shows. Everything was exactly how I left it after the funeral, like the house had been waiting for me. That's when I noticed the answering machine. Yeah, an actual answering machine. Mama never trusted smartphones. The red light was blinking. One new message. My chest tightened as I pressed play. Static, then breathing, then her voice again. "Eli, if you're hearing this, it means I ran out of time. They don't want you to know what really happened on Magnolia Street, especially not what happened to your daddy." My father. The man everyone said left when I was 7. The man my mama refused to talk about. The message cut off. I stared at the machine like it had just accused someone of murder, because in a way, it had. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every sound felt louder: the creak of the floorboards, the hum of the fridge, the wind outside brushing through the trees like whispers. Around 2:13 a.m., someone knocked on the front door. 3 slow knocks. I froze. Nobody knocks on doors that late unless something's wrong. I grabbed the old baseball bat from behind the door, my daddy's bat, and opened it just enough to see. It was Marcus Bell, my best friend growing up. Same broad shoulders, same tired eyes. But his hair was peppered with gray now, and there was a heaviness to him I didn't recognize. "Man," he said softly, "I was hoping it wasn't true." "Hoping what wasn't true?" I asked. "That you came back." He stepped inside like the house still belonged to him, too. Marcus sat across from me, rubbing his hands together like he was warming them over a fire. "You heard it, didn't you?" he asked.